So the show's going to throw a whole lot at us, and we need to be prepared for anything. So let's talk about some of the situations that we've been preparing for nearly our whole lives. So first off, civil disobedience. When the shit hits the fan, people are going to come after what you have and what you're going to try to get. So we're going to need to protect ourselves with firearms. So let's talk about some of the guns that we've been training on growing up.
We found that versatility and learning different types of firearms has always been very helpful to our learning curve. We found that different weapons are good for different situations, and that being able to learn how to use those weapons in those types of situations is really what keeps you alive. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is something that pretty much any person who's ever seen a gun before knows. This is an AK-47. This specific model is a Mahdi Egyptian AK-47. It's made by all Russian parts. So we've been firing on a gun that's been shooting for years, and it's never jammed once.
Next thing we have is the 22 long rifle. Now this one looks a little tricked out because it's got some of that fancy stock on it. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing lighter or more effective than a 22. You can carry a ton of ammunition, still have good amount of range, and small or large cam can be taken with this, giving you a chance to earn extra food and not have to use up your resources like we'll be bringing with us in our week-long packs.
Yeah, and along with being able to shoot a rabbit, it also doesn't wake up your neighbors when you shoot at like a 30-06. they don't tend to like that. It's a little bit too loud. But the 22 is just a fun gun where you can shoot a rabbit, you can shoot a bird. It's pretty much the perfect hunting and survival, keeping yourself alive weapon.
Right here we have the 12-gauge shotgun. And this is a model 870 Wingmaster pump action. And we love this gun because it can almost hit anything out of the sky that we want.
And it's nice because this particular model has a longer barrel, which has let us refine our skills in shooting airborne targets. So even with the longer barrel, keeps the pellets a lot tighter. We're able to hit targets flying through the air like any other crack shot. It's also given us the ability to hunt rabbits. It's great for keeping food on the table, and it's something that every household, I believe, should have for personal protection, as long as survival.
That's a great point. So that's some of the firearms that we've been training on, and I think that we'll be very proficient using if you throw anything at us on this show. Let's talk about some of the things that we have here. Here we have a bunch of climbing equipment. Now this is usually just used for recreation, but why do we have 2 harnesses and over 250 feet of rope with us right now? Why do you think we have this, JD?
It's because in survival situations, there could be bridge collapses, there could be building destruction, places where it's impossible to get down because the stairs are blown. We have our rope though, and we have our harnesses, so even if there's a steep drop, we're able to get past that obstacle and overcome.
And the great amount of weight and load that we'll be bringing with us, we're needing to be able to climb safely over those obstacles. And this is going to give us an advantage in that sort of environment.
But how we also have an edge is that we understand the ability that these individual items provide for themselves, but we could also combine that with our versatility to show that, say, you need to get to a higher vantage point to provide better cover for your group, for your family. Then we can use that rope to get in better positions to secure, where it'll keep us alive and keep us safer than we ever could.
That's right. So just like, we know that there's a lot of situations that we can prepare for, there's even more situations that we're never going to see coming. And so that's why we have all of these tools at our disposal, and we're trained and knowledgeable and able to teach these things to other people too, that is going to give us a great advantage over anything that comes at us.
Yeah, and we, along with our ability to survive any physical situation, we have the charisma and the ability to think clearly in hard situations that would not necessarily be easy to think clearly through. But we also have the ability to, have a sense of humor, along with finding things that are practical. You could be in an awful situation, but you don't have to be unhappy with it. So we like to, do fun things for ourselves, preparing for the end times, as some people would like to say. And this, in fact, is our new model called the Zombie Slayer.
This is everything you need in the event of the zombie apocalypse, and something we put a lot of thought into. You have your magazines and you have your firearms up at front. You also have something that never needs to be reloaded, like a nice aluminum softball bat. Those things are great. So, we appreciate you giving us the time to explain ourselves, and we know that we're going to tear this thing up.